So the first Christian idea is being introduced during the 16th century by Yi. So who was the guy? He was a Korean emissary working at Ming court, and he met a Italian priest called Matteo Ricci, and he came back in Korea with Christian books, and very quickly scholars became very interested into these books, because some were very opposed and some were very interested. Those who were very interested are called Sunhee. They're more like what we call in Europe liberals, and those who were very opposed were the neo-Confucianists, who were like basically conservative. Then we move on, like on 1 or 2 centuries later, at the time of persecution. So you had a lot of European Western priests arriving in Korea at the time and converting, Buddhist Korean into Christian Korean. And the king, Yongjo of Joseon, in 1758 banned Christianity, and then soon began persecution. So what are persecution? They are like basically daily humiliation or simply manslaughter, so killing people. Persecution were very bloody in 1866 with over 8,000 people. If you're a Christian, you have 2 options, like you can survive or try to survive, or flee Korea. Now I'd like you to reflect about this topic, and I would like you to tell me, looking at those 2 dates, 1866 and 1758, why do you think Christianity has been banned in South Korea? Why do you think? Please think about the context of these 2 dates.
It's like that everywhere in the world. Like every time there's a new religion, like the people in power are not happy because there's another power developing itself, so they just stop persecute it basically. They just want to kill it.
So, but don't you think there's like another reason for that? Okay, they might not be happy, but why aren't they happy about the new religion? Why do you think that?
I think people felt threatened that the Christianity can make them feel afraid, because they worried about the Korean culture can be disappeared because of the Christianity religion.
Yeah, you're actually very close. Actually, if you think about those two days, that's the time where Western countries started invading half of the world, and thus for the Korean king and government, Christianity was seen as a subjective colonization of Korea. So they decided to ban Christianity for this reason, because they anticipated the invasion of foreign Western strength. Thank you. So now let's talk about the time of toleration and nationalism. So at some point, South Korea was forced to open itself to the outside world. Its first experienced Protestantism in 1880. But what I want to talk is the huge impact of the Japanese invasion in South Korea. What happened is, before the conflict, before the invasion of Japan into Korea, Christians, as you could see in the previous slide, were seen as traitors, were seen as collaborators towards foreign armies. But during the occupation, Korean Christians showed a lot of, they showed a lot of resistance towards Japanese cultural assimilation, and they were soon assimilated to, nationalists and good patriots by their Buddhist counterparts. And what happened after and during the war is that the most majority of Koreans realized, well, they might have a different religion, but they were so opposed to the Japanese that they can be branded as good patriot Korean. So Christian became accepted after the war, except in the North Korea, where they were quickly assimilated to Americans because they had a foreign religion coming from Western countries. And a lot of Christian and a lot of Korean as well, whatever their religion was, fled to the south and were welcomed there. And also some of them converted during the war because, you know, when you can die at any time, you feel you need to get closer to some gods, any god it could be. So that's for the period just after the war. Now we're going to talk about the period until now. Basically, after the Korean War, the Korean society changed a lot, and you had new social class emerging. So you had the workers who replaced the laborers, and the capitalists who replaced the yangbang. So those who own factories, or those who work in factories, became the base of this new order. And many, converted for different reasons. I mean, there's a lot who doesn't fit in my framework. There's just those who feel they have to convert, those who feel they have personal reasons, or I don't know. But I just try to understand why so many are converted, and I did some research and I have some explanation why. Well, some is because they felt that the society was changing, that Korea was becoming a modern country, and they have a very different lifestyle from their own parents. They were working in very innovative multinationals, Korean multinationals or European multinationals, and they were far away from their homeland, and there were all these churches appearing everywhere. So due to the lifestyle, they started to convert. That was basically in the 80s. And there's another part of the population, those who felt rejected initially by the old system and the new one actually. For example, I've noted that a lot of factory workers converted a lot. I guess they were unhappy about their living style, and yeah. North Korean refugee. There's a lot of North Korean refugees that are converted once they arrive in China or at the border of North Korea, or who are converted when they arrive in South Korea. And prostitutes. Don't ask me why, I don't really know why. But prostitutes were also converted. I think it's because Confucianism were very harsh towards them, I guess. And you have also, like famous, stars like those we mentioned before. Some of them converted because they were influenced by American. I think there's a lady who does skates, or I don't know. I just got the name this morning, sorry. She's called Yu Nakim. I don't know if you heard about her.
Oh,
she's a
skater.
And I think she converted. I don't know the reason why, but anyway, she's a good example of a famous person who apparently converted to Christianity. Well, my presentation is done. I hope it was not too boring.